This is Eivor of the Raven Clan, and you're listening to Raw Dogs.
Welcome to the Raw Dogs. This is your favorite local Milwaukee podcast where we discuss video games in a deeper, more raw fashion. We are the sister podcast to Hair of the Dogcast, which you're all familiar with, where everyone just drinks a little bit and we have a more kind of roundtable discussion on whatever Tom wants at the time.
Yeah.
The last one was mascots, which was great. We have special guests here. We're recording at Dylan's house, so there are two cats. Norm will be the one you might hear.
Yeah, he might talk if he gets too bratty or nice, I should put it.
Is bratty a negative thing? Because I'm quite bratty, I think.
I think you're the ultimate bratty.
Hey. Bratty means having a good beard and witty humor, I think.
There's Goblin.
A cunning linguist.
Yeah. Yes, I'm Brad, and usual suspect. You know, of course, know the gentleman across from me.
It's me, Dylan. I might stutter today because I haven't talked to a single human being except for someone on unemployment.
Oh, no. Way to drop that bombshell.
Well,
so where are we getting our cheese from now?
No, I'm not unemployed from there. I still have partial unemployment. I'm collecting backlog.
Oh.
But you have to do it a
good.
specific way, and you have to do it through them, and all they do is go through the same list. They make you register with them for each week over the phone.
If it's a big backlog, just eat some Taco Bell.
Metamucil or something.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm into it.
And returning from the previous Mega Man episode, we, of course, have this gentleman to the left.
It's me, Dom, a.k.a. Little John. What? Yeah, okay.
Little John. Oh, yeah.
I'm back in the habit.
He's received his presidential pardon.
Yep. It only cost me $1 million, a milli.
But yes, he got away with all of those previous crimes. Turns out hentai can be illegal sometimes.
When did you join the convent? When did you join the convent?
The convent.
Yeah, you're back in the habit, like Sister Act.
Oh, shit.
That's a really good
Yeah.
subtitle
Oh, yeah.
for a film.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the habit. Come on.
That's actually what it's called.
I know. Yeah, and if you don't think, if you don't think,
This is gonna get wild. This is gonna get wild right away.
if you don't think I'm very familiar with Sister Mary Clarence, then you don't know me that well. And then returning from the last episode you were on would be the Mario RPG episode.
Mario RPG, that's right.
Yeah, this is the...
When was that?
like,
Summertime.
almost a year ago.
It was about 10 episodes ago.
That would have been like August, right?
Sometime around then, whenever Paper Mario Thousand Year Door came out.
the original.
Or not Thousand Year Door.
Yeah, that was
Origami King.
We've been podcasting now for 11 years.
That would have been August because no,
wanna say June. I wanna say
it was
June.
the end of July.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll meet halfway.
It's Jamie
There
Bone.
you go.
Woo!
Back in the habit.
Everyone's
Back
favorite,
in the habit again.
everyone's favorite laughing Canadian.
Oh, droll.
Give me a
I was
little
trying
bit-
to
give me
imitate
a
your
little-
laugh earlier, and I couldn't do
Is
it.
mine not going?
You're good.
Okay.
Just wanted to check there.
Yeah.
And Jamie, I know that you have acquired the most coveted PlayStation 5.
I have.
How's that going for you?
It's very cool, man. But I've only been playing Persona 5. So I don't really need a PS5 to play that, but it's still pretty cool.
It is cool. I beat Miles Morales right when I got the PS5, and I also have the Xbox Series X, which I was playing the new Tetris Effect on there for a while. But now when someone's like, "Oh, so what have you been playing then?" I'm like, "Assassin's Creed Origins." I've been playing it like crazy. And they're like, "Oh, okay."
Why even own it then, right?
The Astro...
Fast loading, and honestly, I'm a big fan. I still just like having the newer systems, just like the new home screen. Everything's fast. It looks sleek. Everything looks better.
And Astrobot was pretty sweet. Even though it's just a giant tech demo, like the DualSense controller is very, very cool.
And that is a great tech demo. Speaking of tech demos, did anyone check out the well, actually, maybe I'm not sure if it's on anything available outside of what you and I have. The Resident Evil 8.
Oh no, I've read about it, but
I've heard it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a pretty simple demo.
I hear it's like the kitchen demo from 7.
It's beautiful. My favorite review. Someone's like, "Are you you're trying to scare me by putting me in a big house with Gothic era women and an 8-foot tall titty vampire?" It's like, this is actually a fantasy of mine,
Yeah, there's a lot of Rule 34 of her right now,
and no one's surprised. Before we move forward at all, special thanks to Patreon supporters Tyler Keller, Mark Nenow, Brian Ward, Laura Belinsky, Andy Bush, Jake Murphy, Camelia Holmes, and Ryan Christinek, as well as everyone else who listens and supports us any way you can. Thanks for listening. If you have a chance to go write a review on Apple Podcasts, that would mean a lot, or just drop us a line, say that you appreciate us or disagree with our opinions on Dr. Wily's college life. But if you have strong opinions on that, you should maybe be talking to somebody else besides us. Yeah.
I support it either way.
Yeah, I was on I follow a video game vinyl Facebook group, and someone posted a picture of a record, and there was Mega Man 2 on the Game Boy just sitting next to it. And I was like, what's up with that? What do you think of it? And we got into a discussion on the character Quint on Facebook, and I was like, there are people who want to know more.
and Quint sounds so much better on vinyl.
Yeah.
It's a much truer sound.
Yeah.
So there's a new video game vinyl store out in Waukesha that just opened called Nostalgia Music and More, and it's tough.
Really?
It's very tough to find bootlegs. And I got the Super Mario Sunshine vinyl record. Sounds fucking nice.
Oh, next time you go, take me.
Yeah, absolutely. And he gets new stuff in all the time. And then I went back because he special ordered Illusion of Gaia for me for the Super Nintendo, that vinyl. Oh. And then I also picked up Sonic the Hedgehog 3. These are all not they're bootlegs, so they're hard to find. But the Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Michael Jackson worked on it. So the cover is Sonic, like the Thriller cover, just like leaning there, and Tails is like straddling his leg.
I remember seeing that somewhere online. Yeah.
So that's cool. Check out Nostalgia Music and More if you get a chance. But the reason we're here today is to continue Mega Manuary, which is a very well-conceived topic for a month, because it's got man in January. We slapped them together. It's brilliant.
It was also my nickname in high school.
Mega Manuary? Wow.
Yeah. Why the Uary?
It's Canada. They're weird up there. Too much maple syrup.
Too much poutine.
It's in the blood.
Oui. Bon nous.
The fact that you can even speak English is very impressive. So
I'm surprised I can speak English. Actually, it's tough. It's very tough.
As a first language, you're doing great.
Thank you.
You had to buy special glasses for it.
And corrective shoes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you don't have two left feet.
So
I don't know. Canadian stance.
We haven't really done a lore episode, I want to say, in a while. I'm not sure when the last one might have been
Sonic, maybe?
Sonic was
yeah.
number 2. I think Mortal Kombat might have been
That was
the
almost
last
a year
one.
ago, though.
That was back in 1927, I thought.
I actually just listened to that.
Right before the crash, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do recall.
No, I think the
Rough times.
I think the last one we did was Mortal Kombat. So
Until the New Deal.
we like to call them lore bukkake, but essentially, it's us going way more in depth than is maybe warranted or necessary, because some video games have a long, drawn-out universe with characters and motivations and side stories and timelines that don't make a lot of sense, and this is where we kind of just try and make sense of it, or at least discuss how stupid it is.
So I actually got the term from Chris Antista from Video Game Apocalypse, and it is that feeling like, I don't know, I never played The Witcher 1 and 2, and then when I started playing 3, it just felt super overwhelming. There were so many things to learn. Like, yeah, I get what elves are and shit, but it just felt like it was all forced on you at one time, and you're just like, do I have the patience for this? I say that to myself constantly. Well, we're here to help out.
Yeah.
We're going to Mega Man all over your face.
Luckily, Mega Man is extremely straightforward, and it literally just breaks down to like basically a shonen battle manga in the form of a video game. That's it.
Yeah, it's surprisingly straightforward. There are some oddity moments where some strange things happen. So there's, of course, an illustrious franchise like Mega Man there are going to be side games, party games, racing games, battle games, and some of them have been declared non-canon. Some are not technically non-canon or canon, but the Robot Master Field Guide alludes to like the racing game Battle and Chase. So I'm like, this is canon. And then I went on some websites, and they've never specifically said what year things begin. But some of the early games say 200X, and then the game after, I forget which one it is, it says 20XX. So I made the decision that is when 2010 happens, because everything else is like 6 months after this game or 8 months after this game. Mm-hmm. So you're able to kind of figure out where these numbers line up, and it doesn't make a fucking difference.
Correct.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
So can you tell us about the strange planet this takes place on?
Me personally?
Well, I mean, it's Earth.
It is Earth, but it's also like an alternate reality where we developed AI way too early. Because if you consider Dr. Wily and Dr. Light's ages, they're literally the age of my father by the time that the games actually roll around. I mean, my dad's over 60, like 67 or something like that, but
I want to say they're around 50 in like 2008 for the first Mega Man
That's
game.
what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Then like they're the age of my mom then. So thinking about that is kind of wicked. They created the robots early on. You have to think of this as a parallel universe, right? Let's just start out there.
Yes, it is a parallel universe, but it takes place on Earth.
Yes, it's on Earth.
Canada is a place that exists in Mega Man.
It's true.
Yes.
Nice.
Are we sure though?
Celine Dion is canon in the Mega Man universe.
Celine Dion, man.
You guys just spoiled my
Titanic is a world. There's like a sinking ship, a whole section where you're like sliding down the ship, having to avoid stuff.
Oh, by the way, did you know she did that whole entire song, "My Heart Will Go On," in 2 takes?
while doing the penny whistle solo at the same time.
Was that a penny whistle?
Oh, it totally was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she played that with her nose while she was singing out of her mouth. It was very impressive how.
Yeah, that's
It's like Kenny G type skill there.
Very Canadian. Very. Yeah, around early 2000s is kind of when most of the crux of the main series start, but they're two important human figures that are responsible for almost the entire plot.
or the destruction of humanity as we see it.
And what are their names, Tom?
Dr. Light and Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily.
It's a shame that in Mega Man 11 they recast the voice actor for Wily, because otherwise, or for Dr. Light, because I could have just canon in my head canon would just always have Mega Man. We must stop Dr. Wily again. But instead, there's officially a new voice actor for that. Yeah, these two boys, Dr. Thomas Light and Dr. Albert W. Wily, went to college together.
So is Santa Claus's first name actually Tom?
Oh, shit.
Because Al, right? It's supposed to be Einstein, right? Albert Einstein?
Yeah, Wily's look is based on Einstein. It's not like a 1-to-1, but Wily's based on Einstein, and Light was based on Santa Claus.
And Edison.
And Edison, yeah, their designs.
Oh, then yeah,
That's
Tom.
illuminating.
So, I mean,
Edison.
Tom
if
Edison.
he's,
Okay,
if he's
that
based
makes
on
sense.
Edison, maybe that explains why he's such a fraudulent hack inventor, and Wily's the true genius.
What's weird about that then is that Wily is American and Light is Japanese.
I'm not sure if he's Japanese originally. I know in the Mega Man Battle Network he is. I think he's technically American.
He's not first generation.
It says it
Japanese.
in the field. It says it in the field guide
that he's Japanese.
that he's Japanese. I will check this to make sure.
We'll do a quick fact check here.
He's right at the end.
But the earliest, well, I guess technically there would be earlier instances of the universe, because there are ancient robots that are discovered in some of the games that are resuscitated and brought back. So there might be an ancient aliens type thing going on as well. Plus there's outer space robots that show up. Mm-hmm. So
There's also the bit where he turns into an alien.
But that's the old Wizard of Oz moment, though.
Right.
I think it's very possible that for this alternate universe, alien robots probably came to the planet and the technology was deposited there long ago, and that's kind of maybe where they got some of this technology early in this branching pathway.
How do you anal probe a robot? If you're a
it's
robot
easy.
alien, can you probe the anus of a robot?
Well, okay, so
Why
Or
do
is
you
it a
think- why do you think
That's where
splash
you.
woman exists?
That's where you plug them in to charge them.
Oh,
there's a male
the
part,
outlet.
the male part, and the female part. You know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Well, if you're wondering, speaking about buttholes.
Whoa.
I was able to determine that how the robots are powered because they don't actually ingest food or have to defecate. They're made out of special material that can absorb sunlight. So they're all solar powered generally, except for your like odd like the engine man, charge man. He's actually steam powered,
Yeah.
like a train would be.
Very steampunk.
and there's Turbo Man. Turbo Man is powered by gasoline.
And
No,
also an Austrian man.
I was gonna say he's more
turbo
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Turbo
yeah.
time.
It doesn't say where Light is from, but I had the assumption for some reason that it was some sort of like cross-continental rivalry.
It's possible. They did end up going to college together, and at least he spoke English well there. But it makes sense because
Most Japanese people know English.
and Americans are idiots.
Yes.
Yeah, and
And commit false flag operations against the world.
and there
About UFOs.
there is a reason to maybe assume he's Japanese because in Battle Network, which is a separate timeline that is separate from the main timeline, includes the Mega Man original series, Mega Man X, Mega Man Zero, and Mega Man Legends. All chronologically fall into line.
Yeah.
The Mega Man Battle Network is separate timeline, separate universe.
It's all about fucking hacking the internet.
Yes. Instead of robots, Dr. Light's obsessed with
Programs.
networks.
Yeah.
Yep. And Wily's so pissed off then about something else. He's like, well, I'm going to put robots in your networks.
Not a bad anime, by
That
the way.
son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
And the games, not too bad either. But I'll tell you this, they're really short and they made way too many of them. Big problem.
Big problem. And much like we all have rivals when we go to college that are your kind of your best friends, and eventually you get upset with them over your double gear system.
Right,
That
yeah.
happened to these guys as well. Yeah. They were competing for similar science awards, and Dr. Light's just better and more wholesome and has better facial hair. I don't know what the whole instance was, but
In college, he didn't have facial hair.
no, he didn't. I watched the Mega Man 11 opening
Yeah.
today, which is the earliest canon stuff we've seen.
Did he have his eyebrows?
I mean, yeah, you can't just like...
Because maybe
But
it was a
did he-
shaving accident. That's why he didn't have any facial hair.
I think some old men just really just get bushy brow as they get older.
They're so bushy, like he just flinches one and just like looks like a caterpillar dancing because that's one of the only animations he has in most of the games is crazy eyebrows. Wily gets pissed off at Light, and this kind of sparks a robot battle, if you will. Yeah, I mean, what do you want to say? Proto Man is the first robot master that was built.
Well, it was built by Light.
Yes.
Wily before this had developed a few systems, but they were mostly based on weaponry, whereas Dr. Light was building things based on civil duty and like creation. When you really like break down what the two of them wanted, because even when you get to like the double gear system in Mega Man 11, the double gear system, even Light was just like, if we put these in robots, it's just gonna fuck them up. Have you guys played 11?
Not 11.
I watched Brad play it.
Fucking rules.
11's really good. I was
It's dope.
surprised.
So fucking good.
I was listening to Retronauts the other day, and they were crapping all over it. I was surprised.
I don't understand that because
It was right when it came out. Maybe it's just so different than Mega Man original series.
Well, maybe they're like, this
not.
game's hard. I'm going to go back and play Dark Souls.
God, the whole Dark Souls thing. I'm so tired of hearing that from everyone and everywhere. Not a difficult game, by the way, guys.
It just plays differently than you're used to.
Yes, it's something you learn.
Yeah. Wily wanted to implement a system that would allow the robots to push themselves harder, the double gear system, and it was deemed unsafe. But Dr. Light, this dude probably needs to be like kind of checked a little bit.
He was never checked.
He has had free reign to like keep changing how the world is working with robots and robot masters. And just after the first couple debacles, you think someone might be like, dude, we've had some issues.
Also, here's one of the bigger questions, and it's something I thought about a lot today. If you're going to build machines to do specific tasks, why do they need AI to do it? And why do they need individual personalities?
Yes. Why give it's? I mean, if Frankenstein hadn't created the monster and given him life, he wouldn't have had an existential crisis.
What if you could remote control Frankenstein? There would be none of these problems.
There, at some point, yeah. I mean, there is a benefit to having a robot that can think, but there's such a different moral
Do we
question.
is a self-driving car fucking sentient?
But I could also see the point. So Mega Man, he was created to just be a household assistant robot.
Yeah, no, he helped around the. He was
a lab assistant,
yeah.
and
Role was
Dr. Light,
the housekeeper.
because she's a girl.
Dr. Light would suffer from cancel culture today. It's like, and I made a girl robot to do chores.
Let's face it, Dr. Light built sex robots before those two. You know it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but now he's impotent, so it doesn't matter.
I'm sure he can build a prosthetic AI-infused.
Snake Man was him misplacing his male
How
frustration.
dare you say that about Snake Man, my favorite robot master?
Well, no, that's like how raging hard he wanted to be was Snake
get it?
Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
Snake
it's like,
and penis,
Snake Man is
yeah.
like a giant truck, you know?
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I was able to find Dr. Light's journal online, which is officially released.
Oh, get the
at some
fuck outta
point.
here.
And that's where I got a lot of these individual day things. So he is making these robot
I hate
masters.
this part. This is official from where?
One of the like Ultimania books or one of the books they released overseas. There's also Capcom websites where Dr. Light answers questions about other Capcom games, and it's canonically Dr. Light. Capcom games do exist in Mega Man. That's why when the Hadouken is introduced in Mega Man X, it's because he's playing Street Fighter. He plays video games with Roll on August 16th, 2008.
By the way, they took out the audio clip of Hadouken in the Mega Man X Legacy Collection.
That makes me mad.
Yeah.
He tells Roll he wants to master the Hadouken and Shoryuken someday. Yeah. So I mean, it's video games.
This guy created AI.
And there's also a spot, I forget where I read it. Dr. Wily prefers to play 8-bit games. He thinks they're he thinks they're better and more difficult. He prefers like the original Famicom.
I mean,
Which, I mean, honestly, if your video games are still just like regular Street Fighter when you already have robot masters running around, like you could probably make some different kind of video games.
listen, I'm not a tough guy.
The technology hasn't caught up yet.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to keep playing 8-bit games.
They were too busy making a robot that could cut trees with its head to like try and do anything else.
That's true.
What's the most effective way to make a deforestation robot? Just put a giant scissors on his head.
Yeah, give him a humanoid form so he can jump around and use his hands, but who gives a shit
But don't
otherwise?
run. You'll fall and stab yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Safety first, robots.
Just gets his head stuck
You
in
know,
something.
I gotta say it. These guys sound like fucking cucks, right?
There's a lot of shenanigans going on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to say it.
One of the first robots Dr. Light makes is Cutman. He completes him on April 29th, 2008.
He has scissors.
2 days later, he finds out Cutman cut down all of his treasured garden trees. And it's like, you're already losing control of your robot masters 2 days after they're created. Yeah, maybe don't give them the free will or like the advanced thinking capabilities because clearly you're going to get yourself fucked.
And then the next day he tried to kill John Connor again. Like he's a dick.
Dude, Terminator does have some overlapping things that kind of relate to this too. And I've heard a lot of people compare some of it to like Dragon Ball Z.
It was unavoidable in this time period. Dragon Ball Z had just started around the time of the first game. There was no way to avoid it. And I think that Toriyama actually took quite a bit from Mega Man then, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Proto Man was the first robot created. Was Dr. Light put a bad power source in him, and then
Solar power.
he was unable to explain to Proto Man
Socialist.
that I'm going to fix your power source. So Proto Man runs away.
And he's corrupted by Dr. Wily because Dr. Wily says, oh, I can give you a new power source and it will make you last forever. But he puts in a nuclear power source, which is just a temporary fix.
And he wears a scarf because he has attitude.
Oh, shit.
And he carries a
hot.
shield
That's hot.
because he does not have the same defensive capabilities as Mega Man.
Didn't they add a scarf to Sonic at some point? Like in Sonic,
Sonic Boom?
Yeah.
They put bandages on him,
Oh, okay.
even though he wasn't like injured.
Did Knuckles wear a scarf? I don't know. At some point, like it was just that scarves make you a little more badass.
Tails had a scarf, didn't he?
No.
I thought it was Tails.
Tails has tails.
Yeah, Wily's dick steals Proto Man, and robots fight everybody. Mega Man happens.
Yep. Mega Man's like, I'm a 10-year-old boy robot, even though you're making me do illegal, like, child labor shit. And he volunteers to go fight the bad guys for Dr. Light because he lost all of his fucking robots. Dr. Light builds an adaptive system for him, and essentially, if he's able to slay the other robot masters, he can absorb their powers.
Just like real life.
Yeah, that's how I defeat my enemies. I eat their heart and then
right.
I gain their
Yeah.
abilities.
That's not like a video game thing that happened before Mega Man, right? Like you beat someone and you acquire like.
I can't think of anything myself.
Is there any anime or is there a basis for that somewhere where you've heard before where you acquire someone's powers? Like, I guess that
I'm sure
vampires kind of get to acquire power by eating someone, but they don't.
Highlander, but that was like well after. Mega
Yeah,
Man.
the only thing I can think of right now is Heroes, that TV show.
But that's from 2007.
Yeah, where what's his fucking
Siler.
face? Siler, yeah, like eats their
loved that
brain or something like that and gains their abilities.
Really
what
makes
he
you
actually
think.
what he actually does is he picks apart their brain like a watch and he figures out their abilities. It's a really bad explanation. He doesn't eat them though. I'm not joking.
He might have tried it.
I know you're not. I'm just like, I still don't understand it.
His hero power when everyone gets
Is the ability
powers,
to fix watches?
is to analyze brains and to gain power. I don't know what to tell you.
What part of the robot does Mega Man take to get their power? Is there like a chip inside or something?
It also makes me wonder if he's actually killing them because this is not common in.
The robots
wonder
are
if,
not
like-
destroyed, from my understanding.
They would never say that because it's like a kid. Most video games were pushed on kids around the time, so none of them are dead. But you see them explode into like 7 balls of light that shoot into opposite directions.
I don't think canonically there's like any real death in all of Mega Man in the original series, anyways.
I think the assumption is that he learns their abilities through battle. Like he fought them and it's kind of like an honorable thing. And he's like, oh, I get it now. And he can kind of do it.
I wonder,
If I were to write the comic on it, that's probably the direction I would go.
and so these robot masters all have like their own domains. So some of them were given specific jobs to go work somewhere.
So I got to bring up something right away.
Yeah.
I read the full Robot Masters field guide.
It's it's long enough.
And most of their jobs break down to one thing. I run a power plant.
There's a lot of power plants.
It's all I run a power plant because I don't know. I've got electricity power.
I have blow up power to help run a power plant.
So let me get this straight. All these robots have the power source of solar,
Generally, most
of
of
them
them,
do.
because
And-
most of them are created with serotonin. Yes.
and all of them have power
Certainium.
plants. In a world where a robot is ran by solar energy, I'm just very confused here.
It's part of the Green New Deal.
Yeah,
Why not just make everything out of the serotonin?
exactly.
Serotonin is like titanium, but it's more lightweight and more durable.
And has a C in it.
Dr. Wily is upset.
All the time. I mean,
What?
He's pretty upset, guys. So he takes a bunch of just hardworking robots and makes them evil.
Well, in the
Seems
first
about
game,
right.
their jobs make sense though.
Well, Iceman is a cute little ice climbers looking guy who has a parka, and he just works in Antarctica.
Doesn't he shoot out like razor blade icicles?
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
What do you need that for? What are you helping out with that?
kill polar bears.
And penguins. They're vicious.
So we're stopping the Canadians at the border is what's going on there.
Well, I mean, he's up north further. It's
Oh,
like past Nova Scotia,
When I moved here, I had to dodge Iceman.
dude. Well, he was built for exploration, and I can understand that as kind of a thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't want humans to die in these type of temperatures, then yeah, send a robot to do it. Then we have Cutman. That's for deforestation.
Yep.
Sounds more like an emo.
Yeah,
I hate my parents.
Too soon.
Evanescence man. There it is.
Yep.
Then we had Gutsman, which was used for construction because you can just lift heavy shit.
Yep.
We had Electman, obviously.
Managed electrical output of a nuclear power plant.
Yeah,
Again.
like we got like a Fukushima thing about to happen because
They must need a lot of power on this planet.
clearly
Because when you see some of the cities in some of the games, like literally everything is made out of robots.
technology. There's something that happens in these games where technology happened way too quickly.
And if all of your robots work on solar power, why doesn't your entire civilization work on solar
That's
power?
what I'm
Well,
saying.
because have you ever
man.
seen the Animatrix? That's how they
Yes.
stopped the robots the first time. They block out the sun.
Nuke the sun.
Well, I mean, nuking the sun.
They didn't nuke the
Well,
sun
they
in the
nuke the
Matrix.
sky. They nuke the sky.
They like essentially make clouds,
Yeah.
an artificial storm.
They make artificial. They make clouds. It's so dumb. Well, they got solar power. Well, let's block it out. Fucking idiots.
There are ways to
How
survive.
are we gonna make food?
Fireman's for waste disposal, but essentially, I think this comes down to like a Wally type situation. Like humans are just so fucking lazy. Like we're not doing any jobs anymore. Dr. Light, you're responsible for populating the entire fucking workforce.
Do you think people get UBI,
What's UBI?
Universal Basic Income, in this world?
Dude, I don't know how the money system works there. There are still amusement parks. There are still magazines.
He's fucking laughing.
There's soccer games.
Sounds like socialism, man.
There's
Damn,
soccer
fuck
gotta
that
buy,
shit.
gotta buy tickets to the soccer
There's
games.
TV shows. I know one of the Robot Masters does pyrotechnics for films, so there's still filmmaking.
Oh, which one was that again?
Blast Man in Mega Man 11, the guy who's got like the cool, crazy looking hair.
Oh yeah, because it takes place in like a forest. Or no.
You're thinking of
I'm
Flame
thinking
Man?
of Torchman.
Torchman?
Sorry. Yeah.
Common mistake.
Yeah, the Mega Man.
I literally like. There's always a fire guy, so it's really hard to.
It's Blast Man. He is
Thank you,
a
yeah.
self-proclaimed explosion artist. He designs pyrotechnics, and he writes a column for his favorite pyrotechnic publication, Boom Monthly.
I like
Man,
this
they were able to
quote.
fill a whole magazine with thoughts about explosions.
Every month.
Explosion is art.
That's a great tagline.
That's actually kind of cool.
I mean, fireworks in its
First
own
of all,
way.
they call him Blast Man. Why not call him Firework Man? That's something that hasn't even been used yet.
You could have like a chiptune version of Adele.
Katy Perry.
Whatever.
How dare you?
Fucking nerd.
Dare you?
Man, I'm so stupid.
Dude, that's my pump up song. I wake up to that every day and I just dance around in my little skitties, you know.
California Girls.
Yeah, that too.
Well, and there's karaoke in this universe. That's one of the things
Yeah,
I read.
It's true. Yeah. That's
Yeah, so everyone must be
surprise.
getting some form of social security.
And very
that's why I assume Light's Japanese and that most of this takes place in Japan.
And so it's a lot of the music that we listen to, I think, also is technically canon because if there's a whole Mega Man X game where the Robot Masters are named after Guns N' Roses. So Guns N' Roses
it's
must
X7, yeah.
they must still exist as well.
Can you imagine
No,
Axl
I
Rose that
think
old?
that's just being cheeky. And I think actually
It's cheeky, but there could be an in-universe explanation for those names.
But then you really have to wonder what happened to all the music, like the bands.
They're still out there, man. I like to imagine they're just like where are the humans is a good question.
Also,
because-
couldn't Light just make music, man? And like Music Man just makes better music than every other human.
And also, Dr. Light probably just makes like a really boring job functioning robot, and Wily tries to make him evil, but it's just like, now I'm an evil tax guy,
there's
tax
no
man.
there
Only
are
gonna
no
sing the
sound
Bee Gees
based.
now.
What's that?
Sorry, there are no sound based robot masters.
I don't believe so, no.
What a missed opportunity. Like Music Man, that could have been so easy.
Sound Blast Man.
Sound Blast Man. There's already Blast Man. Come on, Jamie.
He plays a
E-flat
bagpipe.
Man.
Bagpipe Man.
I wonder if Music Man is copywritten
no.
from that movie.
What about Piano Man?
Well, there's a heart song called Music Man, and I believe Music Man has entered the public domain, so it's that old.
But somehow Happy Birthday hasn't, which is crazy.
Now it has, yeah.
It has now?
Yes.
Because I know for a while you weren't able to like play it in movies without paying somebody.
Yeah, it
which is
expired
fucking
like
crazy.
2 or 3 years ago.
Do any of you have like understanding of like electrical, like how much a watt is of power?
Hell no.
It's about that much.
Okay, that much. Okay.
Size of a erect penis.
In November 8th of 2008, serotonin, that's an erect penis, is further analyzed.
It is wintertime.
It has the potential to harness solar energy that would surpass 1,118,550 watts.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I imagine that's quite a bit.
What?
Like to
Hey, and that was the joke of the day brought to you by Monster Energy.
So one of the cold
Just do it.
One of the cold themed robot masters, they actually say that they can produce a blast of ice that is negative 200 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Whereas absolute zero is negative 288 degrees.
273.
You've got it's around there.
It's like the fun thing of Pokemon that breaks the laws of physics. It's fun to the extremes that some of these things can allegedly do.
Well, I just want to eat a Pidgey.
I want to say that this heater right here probably gives out 750 watts max.
That makes sense.
So serotonin would be
Yeah,
about
if it's giving out millions, that's quite a bit.
So it's like 10 of those, if my
At
math
least,
is correct.
At least.
Yes, I'm very smart.
and so
I'm the
there
only one here without glasses.
there
by
are
the way.
yeah. So there is an economy that we're not seeing. Somehow these people do have an income. Also, how does Dr. Wily afford to make a castle every single game, which he does? I don't know.
Inheritance.
Maybe he just has one.
trust fund, baby.
It's like that. You have one 3D printer, and you just print out another 3D printer with it, and
Yep.
it just keeps going forever.
Damn.
Or
He's also got these slave laborers as friends now.
yeah, I mean, he does reprogram everyone who works in the power plants, so he's able to just make money off the power plants. Then
I assume, I keep saying it, like I was only half joking before when I said universal basic income. You just tax the people who make this stuff. They still make more money than the people who are getting money out of the system, but they're still also getting their piece of the pie as well. Makes sense.
yeah. So
I mean, that's the future of our society. Like when everything's automated, they're going to have to just start paying people to exist.
do you think we should have something akin to robot masters in our world?
Yeah, I'll be the first one. They'll make me into Mega Man.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan.
I'm the perfect
Welcome to
physical
the
specimen.
Joe Rogan experience.
Oh, can I be Alex Jones?
Sure.
I love that interview.
Dr. Wily was right.
They're making all the Toadmen gay. Toadman's a robot master who controls the weather. Like the Jews.
Naturally.
Sorry, I don't actually think that. That's my Alex Jones impression.
If we were to have robots taking over most of our menial task positions in the real world, it's like, what do people do? Is a universal basic income to something that people just have to be allotted?
Yes. It's the only way. Because otherwise, what jobs could a human do? Especially menial labor where people don't have an education. And if the population has risen so much based on this, then you would have to imagine that there is some sort of universal basic income.
So
Wouldn't the robots, because they're so smart, eventually form robot unions?
No, because they have limiters. It's actually stated a couple of times in the Robot Master's Guide and also in the canon of the games itself. Like they have limiters. They they have the Asimov's
They have to
three
follow the
universal
the rules of
laws
robotics.
of robotics, which is never harm your master, which could include like impoverishing them if you really think about it, or what are the other ones?
I can just imagine like a Teamster robot.
Are these the same rules
Hey, I'm
from
so
that
lazy.
Will Smith movie?
Yeah, well, it's iRobot. That's an Asimov book
Okay.
originally.
Or did you
yeah.
did you mean Wild Wild West?
Yeah, giant robots,
you know,
steam spiders.
Independence Day.
Yeah. Gemini Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was Isaac Asimov.
Asimov. Yeah, you know what?
Or was it
Just
Asimov?
Google that. See what you find.
Safe search off.
Yeah, so Dr. Wily is upset because people don't like him as much, so he attacks the planet. He swears after the events of the first game, I'm done. I'm a good guy. Like, this won't happen again. So he makes 8 bad robots, and then, so he can make his own robots, which, like, at least he's got that going for him. He's not just a hack fraud stealing other people's robots
Turns
all
out
the
it's,
time.
it's just like
At
plastic.
this point, we're at Mega Man 2, right?
This would be Mega Man 2. Yes. I'm just trying. Okay. So
Electric Boogaloo.
Back in the habit.
2009 is around the time of June. June of 2009. Yeah, that's when I was moving to the Twin Cities, I believe. In this other universe, though, that's when Wily built a castle and maybe was an alien because maybe he was trying to fuck with Mega Man at the end, because when Mega Man gets to the end of the final castle, he fights Wily, and then all of a sudden he's fighting an alien in outer space. And you find out it's Wily pretending to be an alien behind a control panel. And
Naturally.
It's like a hologram, and the way you defeat him is with a bubble gun.
yeah.
Not bubble gum, but bubbles. Like you shoot it with bubbles, and then it
From
just...
From Bubble Man.
Yeah.
Bubble Man.
Bubblegum Man could be a cool guy, too. It's all sticky, and he just blows bubbles that bounce around, and they get to you, and you can't move.
Well, that's the only reason
Does
that
it-
you do Metal Man first is because Metal Man can absolutely annihilate Flash Man and Bubble Man.
They're done. They don't have a chance.
There's no chance. Actually, those are the 2 easiest fights if you do Metal Man first.
Yeah, I tried to play a little bit of some of these Mega Man games again today, and I already forgot the robot order.
I honestly, the Robot Masters field guide, actually, I was just like, but what about this one? I'm like, now I know. There's a reason it exists. But once you get into the later games, the pairings make absolutely no sense. Like an ice attack now affects a fire Robot Master.
Yeah, and then there's like just Turbo Man, who just likes to drive cars fast, and I forget his weakness. And then there's
They make a
Pedestrian
Transformers
Man.
joke about Turbo Man.
yeah.
He's one of the only robot men to run on gasoline, and also they call him a robot in disguise. They were being really cheeky.
Robots
I don't
in
know who they
disguise.
hired. I don't know who they hired to write this.
Is this the one that actually looks like Optimus Prime?
Maybe a little. You can look him up. I think I might have bookmarked
Turbo
him.
Man?
Yeah.
So, but then Wily does it again, and Dr. Light forgives him. Now, we all have that friend who kind of overdoes things sometimes, and you forgive him. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 10 times, I don't know if I'd trust you again.
At what point does the Batman decide that the Joker needs to be executed?
When does Mega Man decide it's time to kill this motherfucker?
Well, he's a 10-year-old boy who's been hardened through battle.
He almost snapped in Mega Man 7. He was...
Yeah, he threatens to kill him. Yeah.
Dr. Wily brings up the laws of robotics and says, you can't kill me because of the laws of robotics. And he says, I am more than a robot, which that's got to be one of the moments of the Robo Revolution, I want to say.
Well,
Like if Neo or Morpheus is there, they'd be like, I don't know about this, guys.
I mean, the way it even plays out, because if everything is truly canonical and this leads into X, a lot of what Mega Man doesn't translate well in the future.
Mega Man, okay. Mega Man is a boy. He has the body of a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, but does he have a little boy peenie?
Well, okay. I'm going to make a lab assistant robot. I'm not a pedophile. I'm going to make a 10-year-old boy. It's like, I don't know. It seems a little odd to me. Maybe Dr. Light was infertile. Maybe he couldn't like have babies. That's why he wanted to have his own children.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but you don't think that guy gets like tail constantly? If you're the one who invented AI,
he makes his own tail. Yeah. He can do anything he wants.
Talk about Splash Woman, am I right?
Hey,
she's got a tail,
and she's wet.
Oh fuck!
Mega Man, why are you coming to my room? You gotta knock first.
You saw the sock on the door.
I don't like vaginas. I like cloacas.
Waka waka.
Fuck off! No.
After Mega Man 2, Dr. Wily he says he's not going to do it again. He's reformed. So
yeah.
And after everything that's happened so far, Dr. Light and Dr. Wily decide it would be a good idea to create a giant peacekeeping robot named Gamma. Mm-hmm. So this would be Ultron, is kind of my understanding of the MCU. Like, that was
the cinematic universe, yeah.
That was Stark's idea of what Ultron would be something that could protect us from everything else.
Yeah.
Stark just didn't have the cloaca in Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
Waka waka.
So I guess Vision technically does get a dick about that the entire time.
They think it's a good idea to create a giant peacekeeping robot, a giant robot that can just destroy everyone. So it's like nuclear annihilation. It is mutually assured destruction, almost like no one can do anything because Gamma will fuck you up, which seems on the surface a pretty bad idea. If Cutman will cut your trees down in 2 days to try and devise some sort of a bigger thing. But surely enough, Wily has gone bad. Somehow this happened again, and he makes Gamma evil.
I wonder how that happened.
This is almost like a Death Star scenario where somebody put in the fact that Gamma could be destroyed by one little top spinny move.
Mm-hmm. Now this is where I get into this idea that we're not actually living in like a self-governance. We're living in a technocracy. It has to be that.
Describe a technocracy.
Technocracy is usually a society run by the technology that it created.
So the robots
technically Dr. Light is the world leader.
And I don't think robots really received any rights until the X series.
That would explain why he's not having any.
There's no checks and balances.
Yeah, well,
they never talk about government,
right? But he's not getting his wrist slapped at all because.
Quick, Mega Man, you gotta save the Prime Minister.
Right, but like if he's
howdy.
If he's the world leader, then that would explain why nobody's like, why the fuck do these robots keep going evil, bro?
Because if no one's got a choice, then you've got two world superpowers. That would explain Wily having his like ability to run off to the next place to find a castle.
Yeah, you think
maybe this is a really good theory we have.
Mm-hmm.
You think he's secretly funded by somebody else?
No, he's funded by himself. Like, he's got an economy to boost him because he's the smartest man there. It could technically be a geniocracy because if you're the smartest person, then you run the entire thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't see a lot of evidence of Wily being that smart.
You think Wily would come up with some sort of a different plan at some point other than just like world domination through destruction? Kidnap somebody. Kidnap a president.
He does. He does that with Cossack.
He doesn't kidnap Cossack. He kidnaps a daughter and makes Cossack work for him. But you could do some.
And Cossack makes a robot master that fires rings for combat.
So Wily has an inferiority complex.
Right.
Is the base of what is making him so upset. Because it's like when the dog actually catches the tire of the car. Like, what do you do when you actually catch the car? Mm-hmm. What's his goal at the end? Mm-hmm. Just dominate the world, make everybody say like, sorry, we think you're right. And he's like, fine, I'm done. I'll go home now. It's like, what is his goal?
I think he's trying to prove he doesn't have micro penis.
Yeah, you read my mind. So, Wily, you do have a big dick. Thank you.
And
thank you.
Well, Snake Man was actually created by Dr. Wily.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so I think we just cracked the code on that one.
Best theme in the game, too.
What's one of your first robots going to be?
Is it just like bow chicka wow?
Dildo Man. That was my first robot.
It's going to be phallic dude. Phallic dude.
It's just rubbery.
What happened to Gamma?
Oh, Gamma was destroyed by Mega Man and also assisted by this mysterious someone called Breakman. Turns out it was Proto Man the whole time, but he had a visor that Wily installed on him, so he couldn't tell with the visor that the gray and red robot might have been somebody else.
Did you guys know that Superman is Clark Kent?
I'm not sure yet. I
alert.
haven't seen them in the same place at the same
Without the
time.
Jerry curl.
Who's
thing.
Clark Kent?
Is that the guy with the
The reporter
mustache?
from the Daily Planet.
Oh, I don't read that newspaper.
That's fine.
So
I don't either.
to beat
Fake
Gamma,
news.
Liberal garbage. I only read Boom Monthly, dude.
I read the Gotham Gazette.
all they had to do was wait out Gamma. If it's anything like my Gamma, just age caught up to her.
What's my gamma? What do you mean by that?
His grandmother.
Oh, his gam.
Thank you, Dom.
I got it.
Fuck, I didn't get it till that moment
I
either.
didn't laugh
That's
because I was drinking. Sorry.
I heard the giggle from behind. That was good. I
We're
like
going
that.
to hear from some of the other amazing shows from the Greenlit Podcast Network. Make sure to check them all out once you're done listening to us. And we will be right back, everybody.
Honestly, I think the technocracy theory is actually really good. I think that's like a legit, like some dipshit would make a YouTube essay about it.
I'm surprised we don't see more. I'm surprised we don't see more humans in this universe at all. There's a list of every human in the original Mega Man series.
Well, it's why
Light, Wily, Cossack, and Kalinka. That's all four.
Well, why do you think you don't see a ton of children in games like Skyrim or Fallout? It's because they don't want you to feel like that's a part of the world. It's just something off in the periphery. Because children are annoying.
Well, also,
First of all.
they don't want you to, like,
but also humans can be annoying too.
the one child in Oblivion is like just a shrunk down adult model character.
Yeah.
That is annoying as shit, and you can't kill him because they don't want you to be able to kill children in
That's
the game.
that is actually a good rule, and I support that.
Technocracy, cloacas, where were we?
Technically a geniocracy.
Okay, so the Mega Man original series timeline is pretty straightforward, but this is where it's important to mention the Game Boy series, which they call the Mega Man World series.
You count them.
They are technically in canon, as the Robot Master Field Guide has stated, and a lot of it is just rehashing some previous Robot Masters.
Yeah.
There's usually only 4 in the Game Boy games, and then like a new one gets introduced. But the Mega Man killers are pretty boring. They're not that interesting. But what is interesting in Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy comes out after Mega Man 3. Wily breaks into the Kronos Institute and steals a device called the Time Skimmer. So, there is an Institute of Time where they have a semi-functioning time travel device.
Semi-functioning.
A semi-functioning because he discovers you can only travel to the future and not back into the past, which that is actually completely debunked almost right away later in the game because what Wily does
As he flips the reverse switch.
Well, he spies on Mega Man's future, and he just looks 38 years into the future, and Wily is a part of society. Mega Man is back into a household robot. His name is Quint now. He's changed his name to Quint.
Oh, Christ.
Sex slave.
Yeah. Quint, come here. I'm a little drunk and need you,
Now,
Quint.
does Mega Man get to age at all, or is he perpetually 10 years old? Because it's really funny. Light creates X, and X at least looks like he's fucking 20 or something.
Yeah, and they don't talk about what happens after the original series timeline. There is a fuzzy area from, let me see, 2048 is when Wily kidnaps Quint. He takes Quint, and Quint is able to come back in time to fight in the Game Boy game. So he takes future Mega Man, gives him like a pile driver or something. He gives him like a little rock breaking
Jackhammer?
jackhammer.
Yeah.
And then he also creates Rockman Shadow, which becomes a bad guy in the Mega Man base games. But Quint doesn't really, he kind of just disappears then. So there's this other Mega Man from the future running around with a jackhammer that might be just kind of turned bad. Yep. Not a great design.
I like how the jackhammer has eyes.
It has a name, too.
Is it sentient as well?
It is your destiny.
Dun dun dun.
Wait, no. He used, 37.426 years into the future.
Very precise.
This weapon's weakness
Is
is a hard knuckle?
I've heard of the moose knuckle.
That's from Mega Man 3. The hard knuckle is from Hard Man.
Right, but
Was that like a camel toe?
shouldn't that be the other way around?
What do you mean?
A jackhammer is designed to destroy things that are hard.
Well, I call my arm the jackhammer, and that's also a hard knuckle.
Ooh.
Logic.
So they cancel each other out then at that point.
Ben Shapiro, you can't debate my facts, bro.
So the Kronos Institute, they must have created a time travel device and deemed it was too dangerous, and they put it in an institute or something.
In the future.
Well, it's also in the past.
So
Or it's like in the current time.
They invented time travel.
Yeah.
But it's the dumbest time travel. It's time travel into the future, the least fun. Also, you could just like freeze yourself, which clearly achieves the same thing if you count Mega Man X, which comes out. Mega Man is put on ice, or X is put on ice for about 100 years until he's revived. What's the difference between like cryogenics and a stupid device which just takes you there?
Do you actually have to freeze a robot? Just hit the off switch for 1,000 years.
That's a more interesting statement. Yeah,
Or it's like the movie, was it Primer? Where you actually just hop into a box and you can that's how you travel back in time, though. I don't know. He takes the time skimmer and he brings future Mega Man back. His name is Quint, and then Quint is just running around in the universe still, technically. And then Mega Man: The Wily Wars happens after that, in which Wily builds himself a time machine. So this dude's able to create a time machine and still can't find a way to defeat Mega Man. Which
he could literally go back before Mega Man was created.
Yeah.
It's like
He could go back and
it's
just
like making
murder
sure
light.
Hitler's accepted
Yeah.
into art school. Like you can just fucking you can just make sure things go a different direction.
That would be the nicest way to not let the Nazis happen. It's like, just accept Hitler into art school.
He gets a resignation letter.
He gets a 9 out of 10.
Honestly, not a bad artist. Most controversial thing I've ever said.
At some point, Dr. Light starts creating animal buddies for them, which, what level of intelligence? Because I'd looked into Rush. There's nothing interesting to say about him other than he is a dog that is also a jetpack, that is also a
Trampoline.
spring, and he can also like be armor and punch through things, but he's still just a dog.
Yeah, why not actually just like make a real dog that?
Well, yeah, because he doesn't have any other functions. Like, he was designed to just be a dog companion. Then, like, he was also able to help you through some stages. But he has the intelligence of a pup.
I like Rush a lot. Rush has a lot of utility to him. I think he's really cool. In terms of even, like, the gameplay of the game, he's just fucking interesting. Like, visually interesting, like, an automatic, like, oh, I know what a dog is. It's a companion. Like, it's easy shit.
Yeah.
I think it'd be funnier if they just had that bullshit Sony Robo-Dog as your sidekick
The
that does nothing.
Oh, no, there were a couple of them.
Those dogs that do the backflips, and that's it.
I read an article about maybe 5 or 6 years ago where these old Japanese people owned those really nice like Sony dogs, and they no longer produced the batteries for them, and the batteries were finally dying out.
Yeah.
And they had to say goodbye to their robot friends.
Little funerals for him.
Yep. And they held like funerals for them and shit. And I'm just like, oof.
Luckily, Wily never got his hands on him before.
Man, when my real doll dies, I'm going to be like crying, yo.
Now, in Rush, in these Robo companions, did
Sure.
they install a cloaca or
No, just a regular butthole.
just
and
regular metallic?
That's
butthole?
Rule 35. I don't even know what that rule is.
It really depends on your preference.
Did
It's
you-
like swappable parts. You know?
Nice.
Did you guys know that there was a robot cat?
Treble. No, it's
Bass?
no. Tango.
Tango.
Yes, I got it.
Yes, Tango was only ever in the Mega Man 5 Game Boy game.
Oh.
Yep, and he would come on, like, you could summon him to the stage and just, like, roll around and hurt enemies. That was Tango.
It literally
There he is. Oh,
it literally
he's
says,
cute.
It literally says he does nothing in the blurb.
His tagline.
Look at his quote. Meow meow.
I like that it says he's not fond of Rush.
Okay, meow.
Oh, while we're on this page, Swordman. I really got to talk about Swordman right away.
I'm going to jump to Mega Man 8 here.
We're jumping to Mega Man 8 right away. Dr. Wily finds an ancient sword.
Yeah.
And a sword which can produce flame as if from nowhere, not even like through chemical reactions. And he decides, I'm going to strap this to a robot. And that robot's going to fight for me. I'm not going to figure out how you can just generate flames from out of nowhere. I'm going to make sure that it can kill my enemies.
Yep. Just create a robot to wield it rather than understand it.
It can't be put out by water balloons. So
I'm Aquaman.
They didn't-
but you can call me handsome guy.
they obviously didn't have water balloons in ancient times. So take
Unless they made
that.
them out of cow stomachs.
Fatal
Or
flaw.
lambskin.
Dude.
Foreskin?
That too.
Well, I think
Ding, ding. Now entering the bone zone.
okay.
Mind the gap.
So Wily then blackmails a Russian scientist who does make robot masters. He's the only other person making robot masters, but it was for kidnapping reasons.
Can we assume Vladimir Putin exists in this universe?
Yes, his name is Vladimir
Because that would have been
Putin.
Yeah,
Vladimir Putin. He's secretly
he's Canadian.
Delicious.
Yum yum. I love cheese curds.
And then we have Mega Man.
up.
We have Mega Man 5 where Proto Man is being blackmailed.
Yep.
Mega Man 6 though is when Dr. Wily decides to have
Decides to adopt a persona.
okay, just a sec. Let me pull this up because I want to make sure to get this right. The
Have you ever played 6?
The events of Mega Man 6. The first annual robot tournament is held where robot masters from all over the world compete to see who's the greatest. The head of the tournament definitely isn't Dr. Wily. It's Dr. X.
Mr. X.
Dr. X.
Dr. X.
Mr. X?
Yeah, he got a
Mr. X.
He got
Professor.
a postgrad
It's
degree.
Professor X.
Yeah, it's Dr. Joe
Patrick
Biden.
Stewart. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Mr. X was actually... It is Mr. X, you're right.
Thank you.
Mr. X was actually Wily, caught and sentenced to prison. This is the first time Wily is locked up after a crime has been committed.
It was just for a unpaid parking ticket.
Yeah, it was unrelated. It was crazy that they got him for that of all things. He
It's
had
just
a
like over an ounce of weed.
broken taillight.
And dude, that's decriminalized now. Shit.
Cop man found him. Wily has the forethought to hide robots in like that only activate while he's in jail that break him out.
Sorry, we all have to appreciate. We're going to take a
remember
picture of
that
this
guy.
for the
I'm
podcast.
closer than you think.
Fake Man is a cute robot with a gun arm, and he has a cute little hat with a police star on it, and the shoulder even says police.
I like how his gun is like a 6-shooter barrel.
And his tagline, "I'm closer than you think."
I mean,
And the fireman clearly has been watching a lot of The Apprentice.
Yeah, right. He's got the orange wig and everything. I'll fire you.
Is Mega Man 7 is when bass gets introduced, and he's kind of... It's like, if you thought Proto Man was edgy, wait till you see this guy.
He's got so many blades on his head.
he's got head phalanges.
Yeah. And
He's aerodynamic.
He's really deep.
So this
He's
is
angry for
this is the
reasons.
one where even he thinks Wily's gone too far, right? And he ends up turning on Wily.
At the end of the game, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mega Man is about to kill him, but Bass intervenes, and then he quotes Joseph Addison, and he says, "He who hesitates is lost." And a quote that is about fuck pacifism.
And a 10-year-old mind said, "Ah, yes, philosophy."
Yes.
As well as all of our at the time 10-year-old minds.
But he
Sure,
pronounced it
sure.
philosophy.
Is he going to kill him?
Philosophy.
Well, and it's great because in the English one, of course, Mega Man, his poorly translated quote when he's about to do, he's like, "I gonna do what I should have done a long time ago. I gonna do it."
I like that, though.
Yeah. He's
That's how I
so...
would do
well,
it. I'd be
His
like,
brain is like malfunctioning, which is why he's able to get around it.
Right. I was going to say maybe he's just so angry. He's just like, I don't fucking care that I just slipped the tongue on that one. I'm fucking gonna kill yo ass.
Like, I wanted to sound
Did you
cool
misspeak?
and I
Don't bring it up.
misspoke,
I'm still mad.
It's just lean into it. They won't notice.
So Mega Man 8 is when aliens arrive.
Yes.
Alien robots.
It's about time.
Right. And ancient alien robots, I think, must be a thing that exists in this universe.
Well, there's an artificial blade
Yeah,
on
so maybe,
Swordman.
maybe that's where it comes from. It's alien technology.
Oh shit.
You've got to think that this is a cycle repeating because You know how in like the new Wolfenstein games, have any of you guys played them?
Only one of them. I forget which one.
Well, that's how the Nazis rise to
forgettable.
power. They steal from these ancient, like essentially like Yiddish scientists, and they take like all of this ancient information, and that's how they turn the war at the last moment.
With gefilte fish.
Mazel tov.
I feel like I've got some Ashkenazi.
So alien robots have showed up. We deal with that nonsense. I guess this guy is kind of, if you watch Dragon Ball Super, he's kind of an intergalactic police guy.
You watch Dragon Ball Super?
Super's really good. I like Super.
Okay.
Toriyama's back.
No, he didn't write that.
Toriyama wrote Super.
No, he didn't.
He came back. He
He
like
gave concept art.
Concept art, man.
There's
like
a Winnie the Pooh character.
I like the show. Yeah, there is a Winnie the Pooh character, and they bring tournaments back. It's cool. Whatever. Alien robots, and then Mega Man and Bass happens.
Don't you dare doubt my anime knowledge, Bradley. I pushed up my.
I'm gonna call the Twitter nerds.
Now, guys, settle down.
Never. I'm white as fuck.
Something happens in Mega Man and Bass though, where there's a robot named King that has made a declaration that robots should rule supreme over humans.
He's not wrong.
With a name like King, like, it makes sense.
It's not King Man. He's just King.
Just King.
Yeah, his name's just.
Which I like that distinction. He's stolen data from Wily and Light to create his own army, and Mega Man and Bass decide they have to team up. I think Bass is still kind of a dickhead about it, though.
I hear those games suck, so I've never played them.
I heard they're okay. It's like one of those situations, kind of like Castlevania Bloodlines, where you can play as two different characters. Which the game was designed to play for Bass, so Mega Man is very difficult to play as. Bass can't shoot while he's running, but he can stand still and rapid fire shoot in different directions.
That fucking sucks.
It's different, and it just plays completely differently. So
So it's like the Resident Evil 4 of fucking.
Yeah.
Maybe this is too much of a deep reference, or even like any Resident Evil.
Everyone's played Resident Evil. Everyone has it on every console.
I've never played 4.
But
Really?
I've never.
fucking dipshit. Why?
Wait for the remake.
It's coming.
They'll
Well, no,
probably-
I should play the original one. I think what's the Wii U one supposed to be pretty good.
No, the Wii one is good.
The Wii one.
The Wii one is the best version, period, bar none.
Wow, Wii.
The Wii one.
the
Huawei.
little wee one. The little wee one.
The little Wii one. Yeah.
Okay, so
The
we've had
tiny one.
alien robots, and then we had a robotic uprising. Turns out King was reprogrammed, and Mega Man and King have a nice moment at the end, but King blows up. In the very terrible game, Mega Man and Bass, Challenger from the Future, a group of robots from the future calling themselves the Dimensions attacked Symphony City. The leader is a failed prototype version of Quint called Rockman Shadow. This is a deep cut.
Is this a Game Boy game?
I want to say it's a Game Boy game, yeah. And it's just interesting that there's also Rockman Shadow, who is another
Future time of Mega
future
Man?
failed version of Quint. We're don't have a lot of time left, and there's not really too much else we need to say. Mega Man 9, the police, Fake Man, arrest Dr. Light. And turns out there's actually just a robot version of Dr. Light.
Trust me, he's going to jail. Wink, wink.
Mega Man 10 does kind of lead us towards the X series a little bit because Dr. Wily has accidentally created a robotic virus called Robo-Enza.
Yeah.
And this is damaging all of the robots.
COVID man.
COVID man.
It even infects a robot specifically created to throw baseballs.
Yeah, Strike Man is great. I do enjoy Strike Man.
This is not a joke. So instead of making a machine that literally shot balls out, like he was just like, but we need like a full humanoid robot to do that, right?
And Strike Man stage is great because it's actually in a baseball stadium.
It's it's fucking rules.
We're going to put some of that music here now. I think something pretty interesting happens in Mega Man 10. Dr. Wily actually gets sick at the end. So I'm starting to
'Cause
wonder.
he's got Robo-Enza.
Oh.
Is he a cyborg?
Is he a cyborg?
I don't. Does he have Robo-Enza?
Well, here's the thing.
Well, he's
Dr.
infected-
Wily creates Zero,
Yes, and
who ostensibly is a good character in the future.
it wasn't designed to be a good character, but
Wasn't designed to be,
I
however,
think Zero
was
gets
still designed by
I
him.
think Zero is accidentally sealed in with a version of the Robo-Enza that and ultimately becomes the virus that affects the X universe. So that's the reason, like
The Maverick virus.
the Maverick virus is
God, I
derivative.
can't believe I know this horseshit.
It comes from the Robo-Enza virus, which was sealed in with Zero.
Right.
Yes, and Zero's prototype was shown as early as Mega Man Battle and Chase, I want to say, to the character base.
Yeah.
But Zero was just a prototype back then, and Zero was not working properly because it was too headstrong, so Wily abandoned that project.
And he had too long of blonde hair.
That's,
So
that's
he
a
gets-
classic first robot.
He gets sick, and then Mega Man takes him to the hospital, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
He takes him to the hospital, and then Wily leaves enough vaccines for everybody to survive the Robo-Enza. And then Mega Man 11, double gear system, yada, yada, yada. Wily's bad again.
Whatever. There'll be a Mega Man 12 now.
How does 11 end? I mean, obviously he gets defeated, but is it like,
I beat it like 2 years ago, so I don't know.
right, but is it like and that's it? And
No, it's the very end. Wily's like, I don't even feel like I lost because it was the double gear system that beat me. Because Mega Man's
'Cause he
using the double gear
right, 'cause
system,
he
and Dr.
created
Light,
it.
Dr. Light beseeches him. He's like, "Can't you see this is our ideas working together? Like, why don't you just come to the good side, you idiot?" And it doesn't work.
That's more or less interesting as a concept. The other ones are not interesting as concepts.
No, and
At least I can say, like, he had kind of like a Joker mentality. It's like he forced the enemy to use the thing that he was using to combat them. So he got like this kind of half moral victory.
I think Wily is just
Well, I mean, isn't that like, was that not his, like, even if he got defeated, he kind of got that double-edged sword kind of maneuver. Like, it's just like, well, I already proved that my invention was fucking tits. Let's roll with it, baby.
yeah, and.
man.
Tits, man.
At this point, after you've almost destroyed the world 11 times, you should probably just acknowledge, like, I think people recognize me enough now.
Yeah.
Is there no going back for Dr. Wily?
Well, clearly,
And some people like to make the fun counter argument. If Josh was here, he'd make it that Dr. Wily was the good guy all along because he was trying to, like, liberate these robots that were forced into these, like, labor they didn't want to do.
yeah, but he also enlisted them into a military force.
Yeah. But it's just like some people like to make that argument. Also, Dr. Light shouldn't have the power he has.
Yeah, but also it's implied in half of these that a lot of these robot masters don't have a will of their own by the time Mega Man gets to them, and Mega Man is kind of freeing them from that enslavement.
So he's like Jesus.
Or Abraham Lincoln. Secretly bisexual man.
That could be a cool looking robot, like a tall skin. Was Abraham Lincoln bisexual?
Yeah, it's heavily,
Really?
yeah.
Huh. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Rainbow. Knowledge is power.
Tight, dude. That's cool.
It's there are a lot of history books that basically imply it.
So the next thing we know about the original Mega Man series timeline is that Dr. Light, in his very old age, creates Mega Man X for the future.
Yeah.
Dr. Wily
And he
creates
leaves
Zero.
them random capsules in various
Just
climates.
part like different climates, and here are messages.
Yeah.
But Dr. Light, Mega Man, Roll Rush, Proto Man, all die.
Which is weird because they're robots.
And it's I don't know if it's confirmed, like they're dead, or they just like I think they're gone, but we don't know what happened. Some people it's widely believed Zero killed the original cast. And it's been winked at a few times, but they won't say it.
Well, everyone calls Zero kind of the hero of, well, I mean, there's the Zero series, and we haven't gotten to it, obviously. However, for the most part, he's considered a hero all around. He's also considered like the ace of the entire series.
Yep, and Zero ultimately does become a good guy. Otto survives, the robot that was introduced in Mega Man 7 that runs the shop. He survives and shows up in a Mega Man X game at some point. And there are 2 different robots in Mega Man X which have knowledge only Wily would have. So it is possible that the robots Surges and Isaac might be some of Wily's consciousness
Which X
living
game
on.
were they in?
I think it's Mega Man X 2 or 3 and Mega Man 7, Mega Man X 7.
Okay, because
They're
maybe
old
I
ma-
remember something from 2 and 3, but I mean, the only good X games are 1 and 2.
I guess these robots say things that could only be known by Dr. Wily.
That's interesting.
And of course, Gravity Man avoids talking to other robots by hiding on the ceiling. That's the only other note that I had.
Oh, but
Where's Gravity Man? He's just sitting up there, just like, I'm not up here.
we finally learned how to control all of gravity. Let's just put it into a robot that can think for itself.
Yeah.
All right.
So in the Robot Master Field Guide, I tried to write down something interesting for each robot.
Are we doing a quiz?
Are we going all the way through?
We don't need to do a quiz. We won't do all of them by any means.
I've got a few things myself here bookmarked.
I will say that, let's see, let's just read a random one here. Stone Man desperately wants to go see a movie with Guts Man.
Yeah, they're buds.
Yep.
Which movie?
Thank you for asking that.
Probably some pyrotechnics by Blast Man would be in there.
I've got a thing to say about Commando Man. Commandos, generally speaking, are like stealthy. This guy literally just has 2 giant cannons for his arm.
And I like how he's wearing tidy whities as Commando.
That's a good observation. Yeah, I like that.
That's how deep I am.
Dude. Looking sick. No, but seriously, Gemini Man literally can just make copies of himself.
He's beside himself all the time.
Hi-yo.
You are heating up, sir.
I love this.
Astro Man, originally an educational robot for a planetarium.
Oh, wait, no.
He is modest and shy, likes to wish on shooting stars, and is not fond of old gags.
So he was an educational robot who got weapon capabilities. Oh,
I like his design.
Aquaman. He thinks he's overweight.
You can call him handsome guy.
And he looks distinctly like Jason.
Handsome guy.
But he blames his overweightness on, get this, water retention.
Hey.
It's bloating.
Do you have Plug
He looks
Man
like
in there?
Jason Momoa.
Plugman?
Plugman.
Plugman.
Plugman's
loves
my
anime.
favorite.
His catchphrase is, of course, what is it, Dom?
What's your favorite anime?
He manufactured TV sets and enjoyed meeting with friends in Akihabara.
Which, Jamie, I don't know if you've gotten to that in Persona 5 yet, but Akihabara is where you go and
Nerd
hang out in the arcade.
Oh, not yet, man. Not yet.
If it's Sega, it's already closed down, baby.
I only go there for the full-size pillows, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always admired your collection.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. My girlfriend's
don't-
not very fond of it.
Yes, I know. But I'll tell you what, there are a lot of stains on them.
Well, when you eat spaghetti in bed, what do you think's going to
Yeah.
happen? Okay.
This is the best book.
This is
Dude,
the best book.
well,
This is the best book.
It's one of my favorite books I think I've ever read.
Dustman's catchphrase, don't let me suck more than I can handle. Oh, poor fella. He likes eating too much and has bad breath.
Yeah.
I feel personally attacked.
No. You were just the inspiration.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Brad, man.
I do have to say though that Ringman created by Dr. Cossack, it's just this Russian dude who created a humanoid robot whose weapon is rings, not like chakrams. Chakrams are real like weapons with like edged blades. He just throws hula hoops at people.
It could be fun.
No.
Sonic hates him.
Now, while I was reading this, a lot of it really just did break down to like, especially like the uninteresting ones, like Ringman, which they were just like, I don't fucking know. Well, let's make a ring stage. Like it literally just breaks down to, I don't know, who gives a shit? He throws rings.
Let's
What the
move
fuck
over
is
to
this?
Dr. Wily's bird.
Thanksgiving.
His name is Reggae, and he's a support robot.
I guess he's kind of a dick.
Now let me read this, folks. To stave off loneliness, Dr. Wily created the robot bird Reggae to serve as his house pet. Unfortunately, he turned out to be more of an annoyance than anything, as he is noisy, fault-finding, and condescending, laughing incessantly whenever something goes wrong. Perhaps this is why Reggae has been so rarely seen, but now he seems to have found a place running a shop in which Base can trade the bolts he finds for useful items such as energy tanks and even adapters for travel.
And he likes the good kush, man.
Does anyone have a good...
No robot, no cry.
Steel drum impression?
Yeah. Do you have a good one?
No.
Oh, shit.
That's an instrument.
Yeah.
You can make an impression.
I'm going to laugh so hard when somebody emails in and goes, it's actually pronounced Reggie.
Man, I love that Reggie
The A
music.
is pronounced as an I. Fuck.
We need to pitch 4 more Robot Masters.
Yes, this is exciting.
And let's go over to Dom first.
Me again. Okay. Ooh.
Yes.
Well, I was thinking about it for the 10-minute ride over here.
Yeah.
And I feel like women have not been represented in the robot community in this game.
Cuck.
So I decided to go with Boomer Woman.
Boomer woman.
And imagine, if you will,
Oh, yeah, I love this.
the level starts out in a parking lot, and you have to make your way in past all the employees. And you enter your Costco, Walmart, what have you, and have to defeat all the employees on the way in. And then you get to Boomer Woman, where she has her megaphone. And you were saying earlier that there aren't any sound-based weapons.
Oh.
So here's your sound-based weapon where she has the power to be heard.
Okay.
And after you defeat her, a little sprite comes up and it says, may I speak to your manager?
Oh, I fucking love it. I might draw her tomorrow, by the way.
I hope you do.
Oh, I might. Yeah. That's actually really good. I really, really love that. It resonates. We've only got Splash Woman.
What's great about it resonating too is that it's a sound-based character and it really resonates.
Get the fuck out of here.
Seriously,
Leave my house.
there's the door.
Get the fuck out.
I'm tired of your puns.
So yeah, that's what I had with 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Imagine,
actually great.
give me 8 or 9 days and I come up with Dildo Man.
Fuck.
10 minutes, Boomer Woman.
Dildo Man is brilliant.
Dildo Man is really easy to make, though. Brad, I'm anxious to hear yours.
I was bouncing around on a couple things, but my idea, I don't love the name, but it's Chef Man.
Is he Swedish?
He's gonna have like a chef hat on for the robot. Through the stage, you're gonna be fighting like salt and pepper shakers and various implements in a kitchen.
Oh, I actually like that.
Yep, there'll be like you go into the oven at one point,
Oh, neato.
and you'll be like fighting hotter enemies. You'll have to go through the freezer and fight some colder enemies. At the end, Chef Man, I want the final like boss room to be very small and tight. There's not enough room to move around, kind of like how if you're in a kitchen, there's not a lot of room. And he'll throw knives or pastries. If you get too close to him, he's going to hit you with a spoon on your head.
Cool.
That was kind of my concept. Kitchen themed level and a guy with a chef hat. And like, even if you get to the other side of the room, maybe he like has a pan and he like cooks something up and he can throw it in the air. It's like some hot stuff that'll like land on you.
He sounds like a very well-seasoned character.
Yes, he I thought it would be fun because there must be kitchen robots.
Yeah.
And what would it be like if one of the kitchen robots went bad? I also considered Stuntman, which he would
that's
look
good.
like a crash test dummy, and he would actually just like launch himself at you and like against the wall.
That's fucking sick, actually.
Yeah,
That
That's cool.
could be kind of cool too. But I ultimately went with Chef Man just because I like the idea of a robot that's kind of portly with a chef hat on and like a little mustache even, and he just looks very angry and he throws shit at you. But yeah, Mr. Bone Zone.
I drew mine.
Definitely post this on on the gram, though.
Right. So
Mine is going on.
this is Canuck Man.
Canuck Man.
His bio, he's a short, mostly plaid robot master who's always asking for spare change because he's a little short. His power is maple syrup. His likes, Stan Mikita's Donut Cafe.
Very specific.
Dislikes, high fructose corn syrup and red dye number 40. His weakness is diabetes.
What's in red dye number? What is? Okay, what is the product that has red dye number 40? Is it like
Any
Flamin'
red
Hot?
candy.
Oh, so he doesn't like fire. He doesn't like fireballs.
Doesn't like fake sugar, man. 100% pure maple syrup. That's his power.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's my picture.
He's got
So-
like a little BDSM outfit.
Yeah, yeah. That's that's supposed to be a tie.
Oh, it's a tie.
He kind of looks like a Chippendale dancer, though.
I like that my design inspired yours.
Yeah, because I don't know how to draw.
So
Okay.
I have a fun
I think it looks good.
concept for this one. Like, imagine they harp back to the original Mega Man where you can't do your slidey bits,
Oh yeah,
but
that
you
always
could
fucks
pour
me up.
maple syrup on the ground in order
Yeah.
to slide.
You
just
wouldn't
stick.
slide. You would stick.
No, you stick whenever you run into the maple syrup.
So that's what I was. So you read my mind out.
could-
I
you
was
could-
thinking of expanding the power section, but the power was you stick enemies. But I thought about the slide, but it's too sticky
I like that you could just kind of make enemies frozen in place.
with maple syrup.
Yeah.
I really like that you used whiteout.
yeah, because I made a mistake, and
okay.
this is official.
you put high fructose.
I really.
Whoops.
Oh man, yeah.
Dylan, what do you have?
I have, and if you guys want to take a look at your phones, I sent it to everyone on our little call list. I had Tall Boy.
Oh boy.
Tall Boy.
I love that he's not a man.
Tall Boy is just very tall. It's kind of punny based on his likes and dislikes, right? Exactly, right. So Tall Boy is, he basically looks like Mega Man. You'll be able to see it on our Instagram if you follow us. And Tall Boy, he looks exactly like Mega Man, except he looks like a hick version of Mega Man.
Oh, yeah.
His cheeks are full of shit, and and he's got a Chevrolet symbol on one of his arms, an American flag on the other.
I like the stain on the stomach.
Yeah, that's his dip. So Tall Boy, he's really tall, and Dr. Light created him to reach tall things because
I couldn't get on that show. Somebody help me.
because one of the themes I found in the Robot Master's Guide was like Dr. Light would just create an AI to do one specific dumbass thing. Like
Yeah.
it's even considering like Strike Man. Like
Fuck,
it's just like
man.
baseball. Oh, he throws baseballs. Great. But I was like, oh, Tall Boy. And I was like, that's funny because he looks kind of let's just put it this way, right wing. And
I like that he's got dip. How about for when you fight him, he uses his Mega Buster arm and he actually spits in it like it's a cannon and he can shoot
no,
at
the
you.
levels have like sticky sections, and that's his dip that he's left.
Like how Bowser shoots fire across an entire level.
Exactly,
it's just
right.
like dip getting spit
Yeah.
at you everywhere.
So his
Oh my
likes,
God, it's ranch.
so his likes include dip, and his dislikes include socialism and craft beer. And his function is reaching things.
and
I
the
especially
weapon you
like this part.
Oh yeah, I added in Mega Man's scale to it on the side. That's how much taller he is
He's
than Mega
huge.
Man. Yeah, he's big.
you could when you beat him, you can get the skill, the reach around,
Yeah.
perhaps. The reach around ray gun.
Him and Abraham Lincoln Robot should get together.
Yeah.
7 years ago.
7 beers ago.
Yep, I had a great time. We're gonna be posting these on the Hair of the Dogcast Instagram.
Yeah, we'll throw those up there. If we didn't answer any of your questions about Mega Man, there's a lot of lore stuff that, I mean, mostly Wily's a bad guy. Light forgives him too much. Mega Man's a wholesome-hearted little blue bomber. So, if you have any other questions, reach out to us, hairofthedogcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook at Hair of the Dogcast and Twitter at Hot Dogcast. If you have any questions about Mega Man stuff, we know it all at this point, and it's mostly fine. I would say the Mega Man lore is fine. I didn't love it, it became tedious and more information. It is fun how desperate they get with Robot Masters.
It is. There are a few standouts, but they could have even just thought a little bit harder and still had come up with something a little bit different. Mm-hmm. They just were literally like, I don't know.
One fire themed, one water themed. Yep. Yeah.
That's all it takes.
I like in Mega Man 7, they went to like, I think it's Shade Man or whatever, where it's actually just like a vampire, and it even feels like a Castlevania stage a little bit.
It was cool, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could get a little weirder with it, like Frankenstein.
Tengu Man, which is based off of Japanese mythology. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inappropriate workplace man.
Yeah, that one was out of left field.
Guy who always makes the same joke every day when you walk by him, man.
Guy whose entire sense of humor is quoting movies, man.
Sexual harassment panda man.
My why.
He works at H&R Block.
Yeah, he's the brother of existing man.
Dylan, if people wanted to support us on Patreon, how could they do that?
Yeah, you can just go to
Just go to Patreon.
/Share the Dogcast. We've got a ton of different tiers, and if you're willing to give us $10 a month.
If you give us $10, you can choose an episode.
Yeah, as long as it's reasonable.
We'll just ask that you give us a couple options, and then we'll choose from them.
Yeah.
We have an upcoming Patreon episode from Ryan, and he suggested Resident Evil lore.
Ooh,
yes.
That will be awesome.
Well, he suggested that, like real-time strategy games or Diablo lore.
Ooh,
so we decided we were thinking Diablo lore
yeah,
because
we
we're
love
gonna
Resi.
do Resident Evil lore at some point anyways.
Well, we should do it around the time Village releases.
Yeah, we can
Just
do
as
that.
like a
We'll do that as well, but
that is the most logical.
if you want to choose any topic, we would love to talk about it.
Absolutely. Also, if you give us enough money, we'll fucking hang out with you. That's literally our promise.
I'll hang out with you if you just show up too. I don't need money.
Don't show up to my house.
Tom will not come out though unless you give him money.
No, I couldn't get him to do it. He'll just be really hungover the next day. He'll be like, "Oh, I'll never do that.
Never having a
again."
shot again.
Yeah.
Jamie, thank you so much for being here. If anyone wanted to reach out to you, do you want them to? The old reach around.
Only with ranch dip.
And Dom, what's up with you, dog?
Not much, man. Just,
Chilling,
renovating an RV.
Ah.
That's it.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we continue with Doggies After Dark for our Patreon supporters.
Absolutely.
I know the next time you hear both Dom and myself, we will have beers in our hands because this is the last podcast that we have to do during dry January.
We've made it, man. We've made it this far.
It's 7 more days, and we're going to make it. But
Really,
God,
7?
a month is a long
No,
time.
it's not 7, is it?
It's 7 days from now is when we can drink. A week from now, next Monday is the first.
Oh, you're right. That sucks for you.
You don't think I've been counting how many days until I have a fucking
I
beer?
don't fucking know. Also, you can find me at Demons Draw Dylan. I draw a lot now. I don't like doing hashtags, though. This is like a thing that I can't get past. It's literally a mental block. I'm kind of dumb about it. And also, fuck that shit. Just follow me.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you next time.